I'm Sydney born and I currently live in Coogee, so on the beach in Sydney, but I'm in Wagga Wagga at the moment for secondment, and I'm there for the next 3 months, so between Sydney, Wagga and Canberra at the moment. It's good, it's hard work, it's very rewarding, busy at times. I actually grew up with 3 brothers, so that's probably where I first got started into cricket, and actually played through school and then continued on into university and beyond university. I'm fairly relaxed, I'd like to say, as a player. I like to have a joke with the other girls. They probably find me irritating at times, but I enjoy it. I try not to take myself too seriously, although at times I think we can all be guilty of that. I think it's really important that we as players are involved in the development of our own game. The women's game's seen so many changes in the last 5 years, and I think it's important that we give our ongoing input, especially coming from a territory organisation where we're set up differently to the states. It's really important to have our voice heard at an executive level. And it's really nice to see the progression of the women's game and what the ACA has done for the women's game. Having Lisa Sthalekar there flying the flag for women's cricket has been amazing. The courses that I did, I went to the University of New South Wales in Kensington or Randwick, and I did an undergraduate MBBS, so Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, and at the time I was supported by the ACA to do that. I was actually a rookie with the New South Wales squad at that time, and that was 6 years worth of support. I also got some support from the University of New South Wales as well. And then after that I went off for a few years, and coming back into my specialty training I've again had the support of the ACA with helping me cover the cost of that. The costs of doing specialty training are close to $20,000 over the last 24 months, so it's not a small expense for someone early in their career, and I've been really grateful for the support of the ACA with the player education grants. It ease of a player's mind to know that they don't have to put the money up front to pay for a course, because often that's prohibitive in a lot of settings. For a female cricketer who most frequently, other than the Australian girls, can't make a living off the game as yet, it's a real benefit to the girls, and I think encourages people to go into extra study. So be it men or women, I think the grants have been a huge thing for cricket, and encouraging players to think about life beyond cricket, which is really important too. So the process to getting your specialist qualifications in medicine happens over about 5 years. So you're a doctor for about 5 years, but you're continuing to study at the same time. For me, it's been about the last 18-24 months of study, and that's been working really 6 or 7 days a week, where if I'm not working, I'm preparing clinical cases at the hospital, and with the support of the ACA I've been able to do that. So I finished my specialty physician exams, and really now just enjoying having the job at St Vincent's Hospital for the next 3 years in cardiology, which is what I always wanted to do. Particularly last season when the studying was ramping up and I was working full-time and training full-time, I suppose, as well, it got a little bit tricky. But the ACT cricket have been brilliant, so with the head coach Andrew Dawson, they really set up a pretty flexible training program for me, and I don't think I could have done it if they weren't so accommodating. So I'm very grateful to them. I think it's just being really careful to stay on top of things, so doing little bits at a time, particularly with the study. You know, if I had an hour free in my day at work, I'd just sit down, I'd sit in like the stress test ECG lab and just do an hour of study, and the nursing staff or the junior doctors could come and find me and ask me questions. So I'd sit on the coronary care unit and do some study, or I'd get straight home and do an hour and then do my gym session or go for a run. And the other thing I have to say is St Vincent's have been really great in letting me accommodating my cricket. So I think it's with everyone having a lot of good grace and being pretty patient and understanding, as well as the important people, family and friends have been supportive throughout. I was pretty lucky to do a lot of my time at St Vincent's, and in terms of medicine, and I've always wanted to do that because it's the heart transplant centre in the state, so if you're going to learn your cardiology trade, it's probably the best place to be. For a year or so I went away to the UK, and I got my registration as a doctor in the UK as well and worked there, and I was playing for Surrey at the time. So I've sort of worked at St Vincent's, gone away for a year or two and come back. And for other secondments within my contract at St Vincent's, I've worked at Campbelltown Hospital, and Wagga Wagga Base Hospital would be the other, would be the network of hospitals that St Vincent's supports with seconding doctors there. Greg I met it'd be a while ago now. He was coaching Sydney Uni at the time, and I was training with Lisa Stalaker at the time, and she would be bowling in the nets to me, and I didn't have much success against Lisa any time in the nets or even even out in the middle. But Greg always had really useful suggestions. At the time I was also bowling a little bit of in-swing, medium paces, and he was always around the setup and very supportive of the women's cricket at the university's cricket club. And I met him then. Throughout my development, he's had a role with, you know, development and education grants and all the support that the ACA provides. And it was only in the last 24 months that I've sort of got involved with him again and had a few calls with him relating to ACA matters. So I've actually known him for a few years, but I would say my early cricketing days, really. It's a twist of irony that, you know, you have the ACA providing me funding to do my specialty training, and then I'm in the position as his doctor when he was critically unwell to provide him with the care and knowledge and expertise that I've got as a blessing of the ACA. So that wasn't lost on me, and I don't think it was lost on Greg either. I think it was a really nice, nice coming together of all the training and support that I've had from the ACA to be able to do that for him. And I know he's been very generous in his comments about me, but there are a lot of people that helped him out, and I guess I was one of them at the time.